They brought a predator to class, but the human deathworlder stole the show. The lecture hall of the Galactic Academy was always a place of tense excitement, but today the anticipation buzzed like static in the air. Rows of young cadets, scaled, feathered, furred, and chitinous, whispered in nervous clusters. The chatter carried the same rumor across 100 tongues: they were bringing in a predator today. The Academy prided itself on offering exposure to species from across the stars, but Preyworld students rarely saw predators outside of holos or restricted documentaries. Today, however, the instructors wanted a demonstration of apex ecological balance. That meant a live specimen, and all eyes turned to the central dais where a reinforced containment field shimmered faintly. Drac, a scaled Viarkuan cadet with amber slit pupils, shifted uneasily in his seat. His people had fought predators for survival for thousands of years before reaching the stars. Even behind energy fields, the thought of one so close made his throat tighten. At the edge of the hall, however, one cadet seemed entirely unbothered. The human. Cadet Morgan leaned back with hands behind his head, legs stretched lazily in front of him. He even yawned. His uniform sleeves were rolled up, exposing bare skin, something the other cadets still found scandalous. Naked flesh was what prey wore before they were eaten, wasn't it? Does he not feel it? Whispered Tyl, a fragile Toili with translucent wings. The aura of threat. It gnaws at my bones. He's a deathworlder, Drac muttered. They don't feel what we feel. The instructor, a six-limbed Gorat, clacked her mandibles and silenced the room. Cadets, today you will witness an apex predator of Class 5 intensity. Observe its instincts, its power, and its role in maintaining planetary ecosystems. Remember, predators are not to be underestimated. With a gesture, the field brightened. Inside, the form of the predator appeared, a sleek, quadrupedal beast, its fur patterned in mottled stripes. Its eyes glowed amber as it paced, muscles rippling under skin. A hush fell. Even through the barrier, its presence radiated danger. A voice whispered near the back, "It looks like it wants to kill us." "That is because it does," the instructor said calmly. "This creature, known as a tiger on Earth, is designed for pursuit and slaughter. It is stealth, strength, and savagery embodied." A ripple went through the class. Earth. The predator was from the human's homeworld. All heads swiveled toward Morgan. Instead of fear, he grinned. "Old stripes, huh? Haven't seen one up close since my uncle's reserve." The cadets blinked in disbelief. Drac hissed, "You know this beast?" Morgan shrugged. "Sure. They're beautiful animals. This one looks young, maybe 200 kilos. Big girl, though. I wouldn't wanna wrestle her without backup." The room erupted in horrified squeals, chitters, and screeches. Wrestle? With that? The tiger padded close to the barrier, its gaze fixing on the crowd. Cadets shivered as it opened its jaws in a low rumble. The sound vibrated in their chest cavities, an ancient warning. Yet Morgan only leaned forward on his knees, eyes bright with admiration. The instructor raised a claw for silence. Note the predator's stalking behavior. Even now, it evaluates weaknesses. It senses your fear. The cadets shrank back. All except Morgan. He casually raised a hand and waved. "Hey there, kitty." The tiger's ears flicked forward. To the shock of everyone present, it stopped pacing and lowered itself into a crouch, watching him intently. Its tail twitched like a hunting serpent. The tension in the room reached breaking point. Then Morgan did something unthinkable. He stood up. "Morgan, sit down this instant," the instructor snapped. But he ignored her. With easy confidence, he walked down the steps toward the dais. Gasps followed him. The containment field shimmered between him and the tiger, but still no prey creature would dare approach so close. The predator rose to its full height, lips curling back in a snarl. Morgan crouched, meeting its gaze. He didn't flinch. Instead, he spoke in a low, steady voice. "That's it. You're all right. Look at you. Bet you're missing the jungle, huh?" The cadets could hardly breathe. To them, he might as well have been whispering to a volcano. The tiger growled deep in its chest, then, astoundingly, it eased back onto its haunches. Its snarl faded. Its eyes never left Morgan, but its muscles loosened, tail swishing in slow arcs. A moment later, it gave a rough huff and settled onto its belly. The silence in the hall was absolute. Morgan glanced over his shoulder at the class. "She's just stressed. Doesn't like crowds. But she's fine." Drax's jaw worked soundlessly. How are you not terrified?" Morgan tilted his head. "She's a predator. So am I. You just have to understand the language." The instructor clicked her mandibles in sharp disapproval. Cadet Morgan, this was not part of the demonstration. But she was cut off as the tiger rose again, prowling closer to the barrier. Only this time, its movements weren't predatory. It was cautious, almost curious. It pressed its nose near the shimmer, chuffing softly. Morgan chuffed back. The predator, a being that reduced half the class to quivering wrecks, rolled onto its side like an oversized house cat. Chaos broke loose. Cadets shrieked, wings fluttered, claws scratched desks. But Morgan only laughed. "See? She likes me." "You what? How?" T-Weil stammered, antennae quivering. "That beast should have ripped the barrier apart to devour us." Morgan straightened, brushing off his knees. "She knows I'm not prey. That's the difference." The instructor's mandibles clattered in agitation, but even she could not deny what they'd all seen. She finally rasped, "Class dismissed." Immediately, the corridors buzzed with frantic discussion as cadets streamed out. Drac cornered Morgan near the exit. His scales were still pale with unease. "You didn't fear it," Drac accused. "Not even for a moment." "Why?" Morgan's expression softened, as if he pitied him. "Because where I'm from, fear gets you killed. You respect predators, but you don't cower. You look them in the eye, let them know you're not an easy meal." Tyl hovered nearby, wings trembling. "And it accepted you?" "Of course," Morgan said. "Predators recognize strength. Confidence. The tiger didn't see me as prey. Maybe as competition, maybe as kin. Either way, we understood each other." The cadets shuddered. For them, predators were nightmares made flesh. But for the human, they were neighbors, rivals, even companions. Drac shook his head slowly. "You are more terrifying than the beast." Morgan chuckled. "Nah. I just grew up on the same kind of planet it did. Earth doesn't give you much choice but to learn." As he walked away, whispers trailed after him. "Did you see how it listened to him? He tamed it with nothing but his voice." No. Not tamed. Equaled. And so the lesson intended to showcase the power of predators instead highlighted something far more unsettling. That the galaxy's most dangerous predator had been sitting among them all along, grinning, relaxed, and human.